Hello from Baja California Sur. Today I've been sharing a video about how one can obtain residency in Mexico legally right now through a beautiful side door that might close by the end of the year. And the rights that one can obtain to be a resident here, to license a car, to buy into the health insurance system, to just chill the heck out. Uh, it's all really good stuff. And maybe I haven't shared enough details about why I would suggest it to other people. So a wise projector suggested I share some of those. And here's my quick list. I haven't prepared this. I've just been living this for recent years. I did first come here in 2001. And no, actually, I came to Baja first in 1995. My parents got me drinking tequila and I won a dance contest. So okay, that's where it started. But by 2020, I was living here full time, but on tourist visas, like these 6-month tourist visas. And now I have actually I'm going to have permanent residency next week, but the first step is a 4-year residency card. And if you want to know more about that, please go to my website and look at Escape to Mexico. But here's some considerations, maybe a place to start your own research or queue up questions for me. So, why would we want to do this in Mexico? So, let me clarify something. I have only experience with Baja, Mexico, and really only this southern tip of Baja, Mexico, near La Paz, the capital. So, I can't speak to mainland Mexico. Mexico City is inspiring to me. Mexico mainland is awesome. Maybe I'm going to go travel it. I could use some energy to go do that. And maybe I'll even settle there. But right now, what I know is this particular area. So I'm speaking to that in particular. And what I see as the biggest difference is that the cross of planning, talking human design language now, the cross of planning has only really worked at a bigger scale in mainland Mexico and not here in Baja. And to look more deeply at it, mainland Mexico had really deep civilizations. You know, they had advanced stuff going on way back when, and Baja never did. So the local people have a unique historical primitive heritage. And you could read from people like John Steinbeck about these people. And boy, I just got chills. They are really special because they're not frustrated. We could say that, okay? And and there's been a very kind, at least in my environment of La Ventana and La Paz, there's been a very kind interface between the northern people and even some Europeans that have come here and the development that supports them. It's not a hotel-based development or a resort-based development where in my particular area. That does exist in Cabo San Lucas, and you know, that's where I won a dance contest in 1995, but I would never choose to go there now. So Baja versus mainland. Uh, Cross of planning. Okay, I sort of got into this, but as we're talking so much in human design and seeing these dramatic examples of what's happening as the cross of planning is crumbling, that's not being talked about here. And there's not even any kind of vibe of crumbling because the cross of planning never made a train run on time here. There are no trains. There are very few institutions of any sort. Um, the people don't expect, they just don't expect things to work in any particular way or to get done in any particular amount of time. And they would never even think, I mean, this is the local thinking, they would not think to borrow money to build something. You build something when you have the money in your pocket. So that literally looks like half finished houses everywhere because they just build a room and then they have more, maybe some more cash shows up and then they build another room. So I've been thinking about this since at least 2019 and talking to people in human design about it. But my sense is that the collapse of the cross of planning is going to be smoother here because the culture and the people weren't built up with it. And well, I'll cut. Call that good. Let's see here. Electricity. You don't need heating here in the winter. You really don't need heating. You just have to wear some socks and some sweaters and you're okay. I'm talking Baja, right? And in the summer, air conditioning is really nice. I have it. I wouldn't have stayed for the summer if I didn't have it. But you don't need it to live. And the electricity pricing is so smart. They tier it in a way that if you're basically just a small single family house and you have a refrigerator and maybe an air conditioner and a television, blah, blah, you're paying at this lower tier. And then as your use increases, like a business or wealthy person would, then the rate like is exponential. So it allows this kind of civility. I just think that's so smart. And it's one of the examples of the overall ability to be a poor person in Mexico and be okay. It's like it's okay to be poor here. And you can still be satisfied and peaceful and even successful probably. I don't know any operating Mexican projectors yet, but I have two close projectors around me that don't really understand their projectorness yet. But anyway, so there's electricity, food. Um, Flour tortillas are here and they cost twice as much as corn tortillas. Corn tortillas cost 12 pesos. A dollar is 19 pesos. A stack of corn tortillas like this would, feeds me for like a week. So fish, oh my gosh, I can get a slab of fish this big that's fresh, like from right there, because I'm on this bay, and it costs 40 pesos. So, if I only ate fish tacos without sour cream or anything, I could live on $5 a day, like 5 or 6 fish tacos. Easy. Okay, eggs, you can add on things like that. Produce, it's gotten more expensive for sure, but I still get astounded by how low cost it is in comparison to what I remember seeing in Whole Foods in Oregon, where I am from. So electricity and food can be really cheap. Now there is a Costco and there is now a Walmart and things like that. So you can get French wine and you can get cheese from Holland and things like that. But the ability to eat cheaply is really present here. Okay, healthcare. Um, this is a big topic for me. I pretty much left the United States, and well, one factor that made me just say "F you" in 2015 was the obligation to buy into the national health or into the private health insurance there, right? And the cost of it. Okay, I'm gonna try to not remember that. The real story is that a year and a half ago, I was in a bad accident. My femur was in 5 pieces and my pelvis was fractured. And I was in the middle of a sandy road at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And an ambulance crew of volunteers scooped me up, and there's more details, and took me to a hospital. And I was discharged the next day with a piece of metal and 9 screws, putting my femur back together. My best hospital experience ever, and I've been through a few ERs. And the entire bill, the ambulance, the hospital, the surgeon, the metal, the overnight, everything, the entire bill was $6,000 paid with credit card. That's like less than premiums for a year, right? Less than a deductible in the United States. And it was quality care. Now, it wasn't all super fancy, but there was no degradation in quality of care. And the human vibes were so good. It seems that happens over and over to me that I recognize the simplicity or the lack of sophistication in a Mexican service, but then there's a real person on the other end of it, and there's like a coherency in the vibes between the people, and stuff gets done fine, or it doesn't get done, and it didn't need to, and nobody was trying to force it. So let's see. The next story, I've been to 2 dentists. The first one actually just took 50 bucks and didn't really clean my teeth. But the second one is fantastic. And he showed me pictures. He had all the advanced technology to show me pictures of the cavities forming here and there and this thing that needed to be fixed. And, the full-on cleaning was $60. Each cavity, $75. I even got his chart. Of course, he's a 6'2" generator. So let's see, who else? I have a body worker that was basically my physical therapist, but he's American, but he's here. And I mean, I pay him American rates because he's good. He's a 6'2" projector. But yeah, it's really good that way. Now, as a resident, I can buy into the national system and, it doesn't cover everything, but I could buy into this one. I don't want to buy into the one up there that systematically. Okay. Okay. Satisfaction is the main vibe. It really is, even amongst the most poor Mexicans that I interact with. There is not an overriding sense of frustration here. And I am so sensitive to that, and I am so okay here. If I see that the store is really full, like full of cars, and I know they're Mexican, okay, fine, I'll go in there, no problem. If I see they're full of Americans, there is a palpable frustration vibe, and I don't go in. So there is no understanding in this culture here that you're supposed to do anything other than what comes to you to do, or you're not going to spend money that isn't in your pocket, and there's nowhere else to go, and there's nothing else to do. And I mean, they do hang out in pentas, and I mean, they're always hanging out together, right? And that's not really my scene, but they just wave at me and I wave back, and it's all cool. It's just beautiful. I put puppies on the list because, yeah, I did end up with a puppy, and the Baja dogs. I think it's a good example of what's cool about this culture. I mean, there's plenty of not great care of dogs, but compared to Costa Rica or other parts of Latin America, they're respected. There's good veterinary care here. But then again, there's a range. I mean, I can go to the local veterinary, and I've gone in there several times and paid only 100 pesos, $5, to have the vet touch my dog, where give me information, and maybe sell me a drug or not sell me a drug because nothing was needed. But to only spend $5 to see the vet, I mean, that's incredible. Now, he's not that sophisticated, and you can go to the sophisticated vets that cost more in La Paz and get all the fancy scans and this and that. But you see, there's an option. There's a range of options there, and that just awesome. Let's see here. Live and let live. Live and let die. Have you noticed how afraid Americans are to die? I don't know, maybe it's all the white people in the North, okay? But um, they're not afraid of that here. They talk to their dead people every November, more often maybe. But the Day of the Dead, okay, make an altar, okay, that's what your life was about. But there's no like grasping at life. There's just like life is happening and then it ends sometimes, and sometimes it's not very pretty. But there's a kind of freeness to that, and I really appreciate it. And well, for me here in Baja, one of the biggest things has been that the sky is really clear. There are no planes in the sky. I mean, like literally, I might see, I think I can see a morning flight. I mean, I just don't even remember seeing planes, honestly. There's only one like recreational plane that buzzes around every once in a while. And like regular flights, I don't notice them. I can't even remember the last time I saw a plane in the sky, actually. But I have seen them. But the sky is perfectly clear, and the moon seems like it's always just right there. Like the moon is just always there. And of course, whatever. Lack of clouds is part of it. But the lack of clouds changes in the summer, I found out, when things get more tropical here. Um, it's actually more comfortable here in August than it is in my home of Oregon. Last year, when it was 117 in Portland, Oregon, it was like 80 something and cloudy here because close to the equator, I'm at 20 degrees from the equator, it becomes tropical. So I'm in this desert, but it's tropical for several months of the year. Feels great. Okay, okay, I've been through that list. Uh, You can find my website. It's www.uniqueadvisor.design. There's a escape to Mexico information option there. And uh, if you want to know about me, I'll show you this. And yeah, I'm splenic and all that stuff. And I don't know what else to say about that, but that might be information that you want. So, okay. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you in my inbox. Ciao for now.